Imagine walking home late at night, only to see glowing red eyes watching you from the shadows. Could it be a creature out of folklore? Or is it one of the mysterious cryptids hiding in modern cities, blending into the urban jungle? Today, we dive into 5 urban cryptids that have terrorized and fascinated communities across North America. From terrifying winged creatures to half-goat monsters, these cryptids might just be closer than you think. The Mothman legend begins in November 1966, when 2 young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, were driving near an abandoned World War II TNT plant in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. They spotted a large, dark figure standing on the side of the road. The creature's glowing red eyes pierced through the darkness, and as the car sped away, the figure took flight, chasing them at speeds of over 100 miles per hour. This terrifying encounter was just the beginning. Following this first sighting, reports of the Mothman exploded. Local newspapers were flooded with accounts from people who claimed to have seen a giant, bird-like creature lurking in the area. Some witnesses even described feeling a sense of dread and impending doom after encountering the creature. Its wings were often said to span between 10 and 15 feet, and its strange, almost mechanical movements added to the sense of unease. Things took a tragic turn in December 1967, when the Silver Bridge, a main route between Point Pleasant and Ohio, collapsed, sending dozens of cars into the icy waters below. The tragedy claimed 46 lives, and in the aftermath, many began to speculate that the Mothman had been a warning of the disaster. Since then, the creature has been labeled a harbinger of doom, a cryptid that only appears in times of great disaster. The Mothman story has had a significant cultural impact. It inspired the 2002 movie The Mothman Prophecies, and Point Pleasant has fully embraced its most famous cryptid. The town holds an annual Mothman festival that attracts thousands of people from around the world, and the Mothman Museum is a popular destination for both cryptid enthusiasts and curious tourists. If you ever visit Point Pleasant, don't miss the chance to take a photo with the 12-foot-tall Mothman statue, complete with imposing metallic wings and a sinister expression. It's become a famous landmark in the cryptozoology world. With so many reported sightings and a major tragedy linked to its name, the Mothman remains one of the most enigmatic and haunting cryptids in modern folklore. Is it an undiscovered species, a supernatural entity, or simply the product of mass hysteria? No one knows for sure, but the legend of Mothman endures. The legend of the Jersey Devil stretches back more than 300 years, making it one of the oldest and most enduring cryptids in American folklore. The story centers on a woman named Mother Leeds, who, according to local legend, lived in the Pine Barrens in the 18th century. Pregnant with her 13th child, she was said to have cursed the baby in frustration, exclaiming, "Let this one be the devil." According to legend, the baby was born normal, but soon transformed into a monstrous creature with hooves, a goat-like head, bat wings, and a forked tail. The creature screeched, killed the midwife, and flew up the chimney, disappearing into the Pine Barrens, where it has reportedly been terrorizing the area ever since. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, there were sporadic sightings of the Jersey Devil. Farmers reported finding their livestock slaughtered, and strange tracks were often discovered in the snow. But it wasn't until January 1909 that the legend truly exploded. Over the course of 1 week, hundreds of people across New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Delaware reported seeing the creature. Sightings ranged from residents hearing the creature's piercing shriek in the dead of night to people actually seeing the Jersey Devil flying overhead. Panic spread quickly, with schools and businesses temporarily closing as people feared for their lives. The Jersey Devil's terrifying legacy continues to this day, with modern sightings still being reported. Residents of South Jersey claim to have heard the creature's screams echoing through the woods late at night, and hunters have come across strange hoof prints deep in the forest. Despite extensive searches and investigations, no definitive proof of the Jersey Devil's existence has been found. However, the legend has become an integral part of New Jersey's identity. It's so iconic that in 1982, fans voted to name the state's NHL team after the creature, the New Jersey Devils. This only solidified the cryptid's place in pop culture, from books and documentaries to numerous hunting expeditions by cryptozoologists. During the 1909 sightings, police reportedly fired their weapons at the creature, but it escaped unharmed. This only added to the belief that the Jersey Devil was something supernatural, impervious to ordinary weapons. Whether you believe in the curse of Mother Leeds or think the Jersey Devil is an undiscovered species, this cryptid has firmly planted itself in American folklore, continuing to terrify and fascinate. The chupacabra, or goat sucker, is one of the most recent additions to the world of cryptids, yet it has become one of the most famous. The legend began in 1995 in Puerto Rico when farmers reported that their livestock had been found dead, with puncture marks on their necks and their blood completely drained. Initially, the chupacabra was described as a reptilian creature, standing about 4 feet tall, with spikes running down its back and large, glowing eyes. It was said to be agile and capable of leaping great distances. Reports of these attacks spread quickly across Puerto Rico, sparking widespread panic and speculation. As news of the chupacabra spread, similar reports began to emerge in other parts of Latin America, including Mexico, Chile, and the southern United States. However, the creature's appearance seemed to change as the legend moved northward. In the southwestern U.S., particularly in Texas, sightings of the chupacabra described it more as a hairless, dog-like creature, leading some researchers to believe these were simply coyotes suffering from severe mange. Mange causes animals to lose their fur, giving them a bizarre and otherworldly appearance. While some believe the chupacabra could be a previously undiscovered species of predator, others remain skeptical. They argue that the sightings in Texas and other parts of the U.S. are likely misidentified animals or a result of mass hysteria. Despite skepticism, in 2010, a Texas rancher claimed to have shot a chupacabra, but after DNA testing, it was revealed to be a coyote suffering from mange. Still, the mystery and allure of the chupacabra persist, and it remains a subject of fascination in popular culture. The chupacabra has also inspired countless stories, documentaries, and even appearances in television shows like The X-Files and Scooby-Doo. Whether a legitimate cryptid or a product of overactive imaginations, the chupacabra is firmly entrenched in modern folklore. Its terrifying reputation, combined with ongoing reports of livestock deaths, keeps the mystery alive today. Before we move on, we want to hear from you. Which cryptid would you want to encounter or run far away from? Have you experienced anything strange yourself? Drop your stories in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we unleash the next batch of nightmare fuel. The Wendigo is much more than a cryptid. It is deeply rooted in the folklore and beliefs of the Algonquin people of the northern U.S. and Canada. This creature is often depicted as the embodiment of insatiable greed, hunger, and cannibalism. According to the legend, the Wendigo starts as a human being who, through desperation and starvation during harsh winters, resorts to cannibalism. As soon as they consume human flesh, they are transformed into a horrifying, skeletal monster. The Wendigo's very existence serves as a moral warning against selfishness and greed, showing the disastrous consequences of giving in to base instincts. The creature is described as tall and gaunt, with sunken eyes and flesh stretched tightly over its bones. Some legends say it grows taller with each human it devours, symbolizing its never-ending hunger. Its mouth is filled with sharp, yellowed teeth, and it is often said to have claws instead of hands. The Wendigo's voice is described as a bone-chilling wail, which it uses to lure its prey deep into the forests. While the Wendigo is mostly associated with wilderness, there are accounts of people in urban areas near large forests reporting eerie sightings. Its legend has even given rise to a psychological condition known as Wendigo psychosis, where people develop an irrational craving for human flesh during times of starvation. Although the medical community debates the legitimacy of this condition, it adds an even darker layer to the Wendigo myth. One of the more terrifying aspects of the Wendigo legend is that the more it consumes, the larger it becomes, meaning its hunger can never be satisfied. It is a monster of endless consumption and greed. The Wendigo's presence in pop culture has only expanded its influence, with appearances in TV shows like Supernatural, horror films, and even novels. It's one of the few cryptids whose story is not just about a monster, but also serves as a reflection on human behavior, particularly in the face of hardship. Whether a physical being or a moral allegory, the Wendigo remains one of the most terrifying creatures in North American folklore. The Pope Lick monster is one of the lesser-known cryptids, but its eerie legend and tragic consequences have cemented it as one of the more dangerous urban myths in the United States. The creature is said to haunt the Pope Lick Trestle, a high railway bridge near Pope Lick Creek in Louisville, Kentucky. Descriptions of the Pope Lick monster vary, but it is most commonly portrayed as a half-man, half-goat hybrid, with the body of a man and the legs, horns and fur of a goat. Some say it has a grotesque face, with large eyes that hypnotize those who meet its gaze. What makes the Pope Lick monster so deadly is the legend that surrounds it. According to local lore, the creature is able to mimic human voices, calling out to unsuspecting victims in the voice of someone they know, luring them onto the trestle. Once on the bridge, people become disoriented and unable to leave before being struck by an oncoming train. Some versions of the story claim the creature can use hypnotic powers to make people walk off the edge of the trestle entirely, falling to their deaths. Although there is no concrete evidence of the Pope Lick monster's existence, the legend has had real-life consequences. Over the years, thrill seekers have ventured to the trestle in hopes of encountering the cryptid, and several tragic accidents have occurred as a result. In an effort to prevent further deaths, local authorities installed an 8-foot fence around the area, but that hasn't stopped determined explorers from trying to get closer to the cryptid's rumored home. Despite the many tragic accidents linked to the Pope Lick monster, there is no solid proof that the creature exists. However, its legend is so well known that it has become an integral part of Kentucky's urban folklore, inspiring both curiosity and fear. The Pope Lick monster may not have the same widespread fame as the Mothman or Jersey Devil, but its reputation as a cryptid tied to real-life danger makes it one of the more chilling urban legends. Is it just a story, or could something far more sinister be lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim? As we wrap up this first journey into the world of urban cryptids, remember, this is just the beginning. We've uncovered 5 mysterious creatures, but many more are hiding in the shadows, waiting to be explored. In the next episode, we'll delve even deeper into North America's hidden monsters. Could it be the elusive bunnyman of Virginia, or the terrifying beast of Bray Road lurking in Wisconsin, or maybe something even more spine-chilling? Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss episode 2, where we reveal cryptids that might just make you rethink what could be lurking in your own city. Until then, stay curious, stay cautious, and keep an eye out. You never know what's watching.